Yes, hello there, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Masterclass here on Crafters TV, brought to you by Crafters Companion. My name's George Akid, and for the next hour, we are looking at mixed media. Yes, it's going to be a great hour, so join us. Get ready for this. Now, let me tell you this. It's a pre-recorded show. Yes, it is. So all the prices and all the stocks at the time of recording are correct. But make sure you head to the website, crafterscompanion.com.co.uk.eu to see the latest stock updates and our latest prices. Now, today is mixed media, and we need someone who is an expert in mixed media. There's only one man for the job. It's our lovely Craig. Hello, Craig.
How you doing, George? You ready for this one?
I am indeed. Now, we are looking at mixed media. Craig, when we say mixed media, what is mixed media?
Mixed media is mixing mediums together. Now, that could simply be inking onto cardstock, maybe through stencils. You're mixing mediums together. It's maybe layering paste on top of cardstock or on top of MDF. It is pure and simply about mixing mediums together. Keep it as simple as you want, or do you know what? With the products that we've got on today's shows, you can go to absolute town and create many different things.
Absolutely, and we've got some great deals for you in today's show. First of all, we're starting with this. It is the wonderful Creative Expressions. It's a great set and always a great brand, bringing something brilliant every single time. It's the Floral Corners and Edge Dies collection. There's 7 dies within this set. You have got the wonderful Forget-Me-Nots, you've got the Rose, you have got the Iris, you've got the Crocus. Did I say that right? Crocus? Yeah, I say it right. Good, I'm learning. The Climbing Clement, the Jasmine, and you've also got the Wisteria. Great florals on the edge here, and our wonderful Craig will show you how to use these in the best way. They are designed for a great use, and we'll show you that shortly. A great price as well, $67.99, $99.99. That's the whole 7 of those dies. Remember, you've got a wonderful platinum price as well in Club Inspired, taking an extra 20% off on those today. And if you are looking at them going, well, a couple of them, we've got a great individual use. We haven't got a multi-buy, unfortunately, on this, but they are all available individually as well on the website. But if you buy them at this and you buy the full bundle, you're getting yourself a 20% saving. So these, Craig, are edge dies. What do we mean by an edge die?
So what they do when it comes to your card blank is they create that lovely edge to your card, but then what you can then do is you can start to use them as headers, as steppers. You can then start to paper piece. You can layer on top of inks like we're about to do shortly. There really is many different things that you can do. One side has got the cutting edge, the other doesn't. So then you've got that elegance. Depending on which floral you use, you're going to get that different look each and every time.
Perfect. It's a great collection and a great set. Remember, head to the website to see the full detail. If you want to see these in more detail, the great 7 designs that we've got. Remember that incredible price there is $67.99, $99.99. And as well, you can also head to the website and you can shop the show as well. We've also got some great other deals for you as well in today's show. We've got this set here for you. It is the Outline Die Collection. There's 17 elements. £31.45, $40.27. Again, available, buying the 25% off on that price. It's the best price it has ever been. They are available on a multi-buy as well. You can buy 2 for £12.50 or $16.50. But we'll come to those a little bit later on in the show. But we are, in the meantime, looking at our edgeable dies. Again, it's the Creative Expressions. It's a great set, and it's the Floral Corners and the Edge Dies collection. So, Craig, which one are we going to be working with today?
We're going to be going with the Wisteria Edger on this one here, and we're going to use it in a slightly different way. We're going to end up using it so it could actually be the topper. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can then use this one with some inks and powders to create a lovely card. But what I've got to the side of me here is, and it's deliberately in pieces because I want to show you, I had this frame kicking about. Ooh. Old frame, you can see that from the inside. I had old bits and pieces within these ones, and I thought, right, what can I do with that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how, using some of the products, yes, you can create a card, but very, very simply transfer it into a frame so you've got home decor. So let's do it. Many of the products that I'm using, I didn't want to go down the road of glossy paper, anything like that. It is white smooth stamping card that I'm using for this one. And what I've got is I've got it cut to 6x6, George.
Yep.
We have got the Cosmic Shimmer Botanical Stains. Now, in my personal opinion, when it comes to inks and stains and colours, Creative Expressions are at the top of the game when it comes to these ones here. These ones here, these are from a designer under the umbrella of Creative Expressions called Sam Poole. Incredible designer. We've got other items on our website under Creative Expressions by Sam, as well as on the show, just on that shop to show. So what I'm doing here, within these ones here, I've got two of them. You've got the pipette included. The first one I'm going to use is hibiscus, and then the other one I'm going to use is a blackberry. Perfect. So what I'm doing, glass mat. What you could do as well if you wanted to, because I know we've got it on the show, and I'm going to use it because it saves a little bit of time from wiping up and clearing up, is my craft mat.
Perfect.
So what we can do is I'm bringing in my pipette, and all that I'm simply doing is doing droplets, George.
Lovely.
So we're going to go onto there.
Perfect. If you are wanting to add these into your basket, they are priced at £4, $5.99. Head to the website crafterscompanion.com.co.uk to see the full range of colours that we've got available in this show. All 60 mils, and like we said, you get that wonderful pipette in there. So you put these onto your craft mat.
I have indeed. No spritzing, no water, no nothing. You can do if you want, but all that I'm going to do is put my smooth stamping card. And I'm going to press it in. Don't worry about it on the back, you're not going to see it. But all that I want to do is give it a good squelch down. And I'm going to lift it up. Now what you get is you get a gorgeous colour array on your cardstock, but because it's white smooth stamping card, when it's dried, George, you end up getting more of a matte effect.
Perfect.
So it works a real treat. I'm leaving it like that because you get that marbled sort of effect.
Nice.
Any left white bits, leave it. It works well. It all works well within the colour tones. Again, you've got that marbled look. But what I'm going to do is sit to the side at the moment. Then what I'm going to do with this excess, I'm not adding any other ink. I'm going to go in, and I've got another piece of white smooth stamping card, and I want to get as much as that off as I can. We'll be left with a more subtler design. But then what I can do just shortly, I'm going to come back with our outline dies, and we're going to use this for with the outline dies.
Love it, love that. Waste not, want not.
Exactly, that's it. And as you can see here, you know, I've got, look at that, very little on my hand because I've got it all on that piece of paper at the side, the cardstock.
It looks like you've been picking blackberries.
Could do, but well, I did say, didn't I? Blackberries, there we go.
There you are,
see, there we go. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give this a quick dry. You could leave it to dry naturally, and then what will happen is it will dry more flat. If you use a heat gun, it will start to bow slightly. But that's fine. When you come along with your adhesive, you're going to flatten it out. So I'm going to work my way, and then that's all that I'm doing here. So that's all that we need to do. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to come in with our mixed media embossing powders. This one is the Jurassic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just flatten that out a little bit better. What I'm then doing is simply going to sprinkle, and I tell you what, I'm going to do this on a bit of cardstock so I can easily pop it all back in. So if I then go in. So what you've got within these ones here is you've got a mix of fine and chunky white embossing powder.
Lovely.
But then you get these real strong droplets of, it's not quite a black embossing powder, but you know, it's more of a deep grey tone. And you get the chunks within this one. So what I'm going to do is let's do a little bit more. Now, embossing. There's this thing in the crafting universe, when it comes to embossing, heat embossing, do it from the top or do it from the bottom. Myself and Debbie Robinson as well, we don't see any difference from doing the heating from underneath. We really don't. We always heat from the top. There is an exception. Because my cardstock is dry, my embossing powder's got nothing to stick to. So if I turn on my heat tool, it's going to blow off.
Yeah.
So if you're doing something when it comes to mixed media, turn it on and heat from underneath.
See.
So then what that does is that will then heat up the cardstock.
Yeah.
Now I'm leaving it maybe about 2 inches away from the card, but it's still enough for the heat to travel through the cardstock.
Perfect.
And then it starts to melt from up above. So you can see that from up close there.
Yeah, I can see it happening. It's magic.
And then if you look down to the bottom right-hand corner, see where it's changing?
Yeah.
It's melting. And then what you get is you get big pools of embossing powder. You get those grey chunks that also melt in with the white, and you get that texturous look. Look at that.
That looks awesome.
We've got Adam on the camera, we've got the master.
He's doing it. And
He
at that
is.
price as well, at £3.99, $6.99, that is gonna take your crafting to the next level. It's not a massive pot, but a little pot is gonna go really far.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely. It's going to last you a long, long time. Even by doing something like this, where you're putting a good fair sprinkling, you know, it is going to last you quite a wee while. So what I'm going to do, George, is I'm going to do just maybe about half of it.
Yeah.
Because as you can see there, you do need to spend a bit of time.
Yeah.
Because you do a bit at a time, and then you flatten it out, because you can see how we're adding a lot of heat to the card.
Yeah.
It starts to bow. When it starts to bow, the embossing powders start to move. So you do it section at a time. So don't panic when you see it bowing like that.
Yeah.
You know, but as you start to travel all the way along, section by section, it will start to melt, and it will start to even itself out when you're using your adhesives. So I'm going to finish this bit off here. Let's turn that one off. So if I unflatten that just now, we've got that all nicely melted. Look at that. So now at the moment, what you can then do is if you come in with your top quality stamps, more so, being totally honest with you, if you've got your red rubber stamps, these are the ones that are great. You can then go and stamp into the middle.
Right.
Highly recommend the red rubber. If you use things like acrylic or that, it could start to burn your stamp, which you don't want to do.
No.
But so many of crafters, if you've been crafting for a while, you're going to have lots of your red rubber stamps. Now this is what it'll start to look like. I've got one last little bit to do here.
Perfect.
And we can see you've
so that
got
embossing
that shine.
powder has allowed that shine to happen.
Exactly, yep. And it is, it's all dried now, it's not quite smooth.
Yeah.
You've got that roughness. But what I would then want to do is I've done all three edges. I've come in with our paper crimpler or distresser.
Right.
Things like this you'll always find on our website.
Yeah.
Always a core product. And what I'm doing is I'm distressing the edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm just taking a grab of one side, and then I am literally distressing the edge with the tool, and I'm working my way back and forwards to create that crinkled effect.
Yeah.
And it all works in with that harshness of the mixed media look that you want.
It's perfect. I've never seen this tool before.
Have you never seen
No.
it? Originally, it's for thread, for sewers.
Right.
So you've got tiny little blades in the middle. So what they would do is they would do their sewing, and then they would nick the end of the thread over. Instead of using scissors or trying to snap the thread with your hand, you nick it over. But then us paper crafters a couple of years ago went, we could use that.
Perfect.
And then they've all been brought out again, but for paper crafting.
There you are, you see.
There you go.
Don't forget the show is pre-recorded. All the prices and stock at the time of recording are correct. Head to the website crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu to see our full range and our latest prices. Right, we are back on with this. It's a mixed media masterclass. So much coming through the show today. I mean, I'm learning so much already. This is what I love about masterclasses. We learn so much in such a short space of time.
We do indeed, and that's where it's something different that we don't always get to do quite a lot. I certainly don't. I adore doing mixed media because there's no rules.
Yeah.
Now, we say that there's no rules in crafting in general, which there's not, but with mixed media, because you're mixing colours, layering colours, blending colours, powders, do you know something, George? It's pretty much a free-for-all.
That's the best thing
You don't really know how it's going to turn out. So what I've done here is this layer was 6x6, so I've taken some black. We've got black on the show as well, you know, just shop the show, it's on there. And I've cut this to 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 inches, and I've also distressed the edges with that distressing tool. So now what I've got is I've got my layer to start with. So I'm going to set that one to the side.
Absolutely. If you are looking for card, you can see there on the bottom of your screens, it's the Essential Card Collection. There's 15 sheets. You are getting a white stamping card, you're getting black stamping card, and you're getting craft card in that as well. That usual price is $29.97. Look at that price today. $21.99, $30.99. And remember, if you are Club Inspire as well, you can get that extra discount there. Whatever your status may be, Craig, I'm guessing you're a Platinum member, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Absolutely. I won't expect anything else. I'd be disappointed if you weren't.
Would you really? Yeah, I'd be disappointed in myself.
Absolutely.
As well. Now what I'm going to do here is I've taken the Wisteria Edger.
Yeah.
Now with these dies, if I do it onto the white, now you might be familiar with this style when it comes to our dies at Crafter's Companion, but these ones here, what you've got this gorgeous detail, the design, then what you've got is the outside edge, has an outside edge,
yeah,
and it cuts away from your card. There's no outside edge here, so that stays within your card. And what you've got is the die ends at the bottom and as well as the top. So what I'm going to do is I've taken a piece of black and white card, 4.5 inches by 5 3/4. Now all that I'm going to do is I'm going to have it straight, and I'm going as far as that end point of the design, right up to the edge of my card. And I'm going to secure that with my low tack tape. And with this being a separate element, it's going to fit onto my Junior. It will also go on your Gemini MIDI as well.
Yeah.
So you've got that option. So I've cut that one, George, and I'm going to do exactly the same with the black card.
Well, while you're doing that, I've got a confession to make, because producer Erin said in my ear, she went, "You got it wrong," and I'll tell her why. It was the stamping card, when I said it was 15 sheets, it wasn't 15, 150. 150. How did I get that wrong?
How did you?
I've got my glasses on. 150 sheets of stamping card in there. You get the white, the black, and the craft card as well in that. I'm sorry, Erin. Naughty me. Well, look, it's a team effort. If one of us are wrong, we're all wrong. But I do love this Wisteria. Whoa. Wisteria Edge. It's a great little die. Remember, if you are just joining us, this is a pre-recorded show, and if you are brand new to crafting, don't forget you can head to our YouTube page. You can see every show we've ever done on Crafters TV. Get that bank of knowledge built up. There's so many great shows on there. Maybe colouring's your thing, maybe soft crafting's your thing. You'll find something for you to watch whenever you want. But this is what we talk about when we get an edgeable die. The die has been designed to do all the hard work for you, hasn't it, Craig? It's been designed with deeper edges, so it gets all the cut out there for you, but leaves you with something so incredible, just like that.
Absolutely, yeah. And the way that Creative Expressions create these is because they are all about colours and they're all about powders. So if you see a lot of their range on our website, you'll see they've got intense colours, whether it's brightness, whether it's the dark tones. So they like to do their layering. So when it comes to designs like these, this is where they would then layer colour upon layer.
Perfect.
But if I bring that one in, you can see now you've got that gorgeous edger. Now you could, if you wanted, do little snips and take bits out if you want. That's up to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same again. So I'm going to keep it straight, and then what I'm going to do is I'm then going to tape that one down up to the edge. We can then come along and I'm going to then cut this exactly the same. What I'm going to do, what I want to achieve is a drop shadow. So I want to show you them how they cut both in the white and the black, because they are exactly the same, but you get a different slight look when it comes to whether it's black or white. But then what we will do is we will create a drop shadow, which that bit I have done, because there's just a couple other bits that I want to do within this demo. But if I take this one off, so peel that one off, and then I'm going to take my scissors, because then what you can then do is right at the bottom, just release it. Sometimes it just needs that little release. And now what I'm going to do again is if I pop these bits out, you can also use your die tool as well and take these ones out. And with our cardstock, you can be rough with it. So usually you would leave your die in and pop it out, but what you can do is release your die and then pop all these little bits out. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to spend too long with these ones, George. I just want you to see that even with the Creative Expressions dies and our cardstock, they all pop out beautifully, like you can see there. So what I would then do is I want the black to be at the forefront. So I would pop my spray, dotty tape runner, tacky glue, whatever it is your preference is, and then we would create a drop shadow.
Wow.
Now, of course, because when you've lined up, you eyeballed it. You know, I did. You might want to measure it. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got the drop shadow with the design. Don't worry about any excess cardstock because you're just going to snip that away. You really want that drop shadow to be on the design. So if I move that one out the way and bring this one in, and all that I've done beforehand is coloured it. So let's see, I know it's black on black, but you see now, you've got that white drop shadow. So then what I can do, I'm going to bring in a bit of tape because I want to add more medium to it. So I'm going to bring in some white satin ribbon. And what I can then do is, let's just secure that a little bit more, here and then here. Then remembering how we have taken a piece of cardstock and we dabbed up that excess ink. We're then going to bring in these outline dies. We're going to bring in the butterflies. And we're going to then do a little bit of die cutting with that one. So we've got this. We can then finish off with a bow when we're finished. But what I'm going to do now is if I bring in this one here, let me bring in the die. I adore these dies, George. They're so much fun. And what you get is that dainty outline with all of them. So it's nice if you, for instance, what you could do is you could die cut this in black cardstock and simply place it on.
And it would be
That's your card. And it would look elegant, very artistic. If you wanted to go down that route.
Very nice. It's the Outline Die collection. There's 17 elements. There's a great set. We'll have a look at the bundle a little bit later on in the show. There's 6 different sets within them. They are available on a multi-buy option as well. 2 for £12.50 or $16.50. Head to the website. But if you want to buy all 6 of those 17 elements within those 6 packs, £31.45 or $40 or $27. Remember, this show is pre-recorded and all the prices and the sales that you see at the time are correct. At the time of recording, head to the website for the latest updates on everything from the show. Again, I can't believe time is flying. It's a 1 hour masterclass, and I like these masterclasses. They're 1 hour, boom, straight through with all the knowledge. But, Craig, that looks brilliant, doesn't it?
So what I've done here, to get it looking really nice, I've pinpointed selected areas of the cardstock. So I've gone where there is a bit more colour than elsewhere. So if you see this one here, look at that.
Wow.
Isn't it just so elegant and free-flowing? Love them. So then what we can do now, once again, I've got all of these ones pre-prepared in the way that I want them to be. And I'll show you that in a second. I will show you one as to what I would do. So you can leave them free-flowing. Now that's a mouthful.
Fluttering.
Free-flowing, fluttering, and flying all over the place. So again, you can see these all pop out just beautifully.
And there's 3 butterflies within this set, isn't there?
There is,
Big, middle and large. Mummy, daddy and baby butterfly.
And they'll go through your Gemini Mini and your Gemini Go as well. So what I would then do is I'd go in with my tacky glue. Once again, you can use your sprays, your dotty tape runner, whatever you feel is easier.
And there's no wrong or right with this one, is there?
No, not at all. What you might even want to do, before you die cut it, you might want to put a layer of our double-sided adhesive sheet on the back. And then what that will then do is that will create a sticker. So it's that way. There's lots of adhesive choice on our website that you can choose from.
If you are a bit unsure about glues and what we can do, remember, like we said before, on the YouTube page, Glue School, have a look on there. I mean, Craig, I think you've done a glue school, haven't you?
I have indeed.
I know Jan's done one as well. There is so many different glues and adhesives within the shows and within crafting. So, you know, sometimes you're having the right glue for the right job. Head to the website or head to YouTube to see more about the different glues that you can use.
So now what I can do is I can start to assemble it. So if I just bring that quickly back in, I've stuck that onto my cardstock, and all that I would do with my scissors is just fussy cut all the way round. and that gives me these ones. So what I've done is I've used 2 medium and a small one. And then what we can then do is we can pop this onto our card. So I'm going in with my tape. I like to use tape. You all know it by now. Tape is my choice of adhesive.
Well, that's what they say, Craig the Tape Man.
Is that what they say?
That's what I've heard on the grapevine.
Really? You just making that up, George?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I'm the 3D guy, the 3D foam man. So
well,
what I'm doing, pop that one on. Then what we can do is we can come in with this one, George.
Yeah.
Let's bring in some foam pads. So I'm going to talk about foam pads. We're wanting layers. We're wanting height. We're wanting lift. And that works well with mixed media, height and lift. So what I can then do is tuck that in, but I want that coloured border to the side. We can then come in with our glue. Now, because this is now on a card front, so that could have a little sentiment stuck onto the bottom corner if you want.
I think this has got with sympathy vibes on it.
You could do.
If that's a thing. With
you could do.
Sympathy vibes, if that's a thing. But it's a very elegant card.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Sometimes a card just stands out. It'd be like, it's nice, you know, it would be nice for an occasion such as that. Yeah. Absolutely, it could do. And then what I'm going to do, let's bring in my glue gel with this bow. So this is it now onto a card blank. So let's pop that one on.
So this is what we call 3D glue.
So this is 3D glue gel. So this is an alternative to foam pads.
Yeah.
The only difference is you need to let that dry.
Absolutely. You can see down the bottom of your screen, you've got the Essential Glue Collection. There's 6 elements in there. You get 2 bottles of the 3D glue. You get 2 bottles of the tacky glue and 2 bottles of the all-purpose glue. You see that saving there? It's £20, $35. If you are brand new to crafting, that's a great place to start. Or if you are a serial crafter, like I know many of you are, it's a great time to stock up. When the prices are that low, it's worth stocking up on the glues because we always run out of glue, don't we?
Oh yeah, absolutely we do indeed. So now that I've shown you, this could be a card. I'm going to pop that butterfly back in. So if it was a card, I would of course add a sentiment.
Yeah.
But with it being home decor, I'm not adding a sentiment.
No.
Because you don't need to.
No.
You could add hello or love or something like that, but you don't necessarily have to.
Live, laugh, smile. That's what they always say.
It's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can do that with your dies. What I'm also going to do is let's pop a bit of adhesive underneath because of course I've got it as a card blank. So I wanted to show you how easy it is to transfer a project from a card into a piece of home decor in the mixed media style. So that's me. I've covered up those bits of gubbins that were left over underneath.
Bit of gubbins.
And now usually, of course, with a frame, I would turn it upside down, but I don't want to mess up the glue at the moment. I want to do it at least this way so we can get it in the box frame and show you what it could look like. So let's then fold the backs in, and then, so it's a wee bit of ski whiff, but here we go. So,
very nice.
We've created, look at that, see, too eager. That's why I like my double-sided tape. But you get the gist of it, George. I very, very easily was able to transfer that from a card blank. You've got the giggles now.
I've got the giggles. It's just because it just happened. And it
just happened.
And just like, oh no.
No.
And it was when the butterfly fell off. That's what made me, it was the butterfly.
That got you.
Forget this.
That got you.
Yeah.
So, we've kind of seen what it's like in a frame. So let's just bring that back into the card blank. But it gives you that idea now where you can then use, depending on the size, you can then go from card blank to a home decor frame very, very easily. So let's do it that way for now. And then what we'll do is we'll post these on social media later on, and then we will post a picture with it like this, and then we'll post it in the frame as well. So there we go. We've gone in, we've brought in the botanical inks, we've brought in the mixed media embossing powders, bringing them together, layering them up together, and you can get card/home decor.
Easy as that. That was with the edgeable dies, and you've seen it mixing with different, not even just mixed media, but different dies and different stencils. What you are getting are some great things, some great deals. You saw the edgeables. Let's look at the outlines. You saw the butterflies there. They are a great deal. There's a great set. There's 6 different designs within here. You have got the pretty posies. You have got the fabulous florals. You've got the blooming botanicals. You have got the simple sprigs. You've got the magnificent butterflies, and you've got the dainty dragonflies. Let's have a look at them individually, because there are some great designs here. Like always, you get in here. These are the wonderful, pretty posies. Again, look at the detail that you're seeing there. A great little collection, and I think this is a great deal because what you're getting is so many different elements. You've got the fabulous florals. How many times could you use these here? How many different cards, different makes could you make with these? Then you've got the blooming botanicals. Again, how many times could this be used over and over again? 2 different dies there. Then you've got the simple sprigs. 4 different dies there. Again, so elegant and so dainty that I absolutely adore them. Then you see our wonderful Craig using these, the magnificent butterflies. Like we said, you get 3 butterflies in there. You get the mummy, the daddy, and the baby butterfly in there. And as well, you've got the dainty dragonflies as well. 3 different dragonflies in there. Again, it's a great collection. $31.45, $40.27. Remember, they are available on multi-buy option. 2 for £12.50 or $16.50. But at that price there, you're saving yourself 25%. It's a great deal and a great saving for you as well. Now, we've also got some stencils within the show as well. Stenciling, I mean, I absolutely adore stenciling. There's so much you can do with stenciling. It gives you a great level, and we'll get to see a little bit of that later on. We're looking here at the everyday patterns. You're getting 5 in this collection here. This is what they look like in the pack. We don't care what they look about in the pack. Let's take a closer look at them. Again, we're starting first of all with the wonderful Botanical Gardens, the leaf stencils. Now, this is great. Remember, they're that great plastic which you can clean every single time. You're going to get so much use out of these. Then you've got the confetti hearts. Then you've got the rick-rack. Sounds like a DJ from the 80s, rick-rack. Then you've also got the scattered dots. And you've also got the stars and spots. Again, great deal, a great collection. £18.90, $24.90. If you buy that bundle today, you're saving yourself 35%. Remember that platinum price as well if you're Club Inspire. An extra 20% off, £15.12, $19.92. Again, it's a masterclass. It's all about mixed media. Craig, what are we going to be doing next?
Right here, are you ready for this? We're really getting inky here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to be using this white gesso. Now, this is available on our website in the white and the black, so just head across to the website, just type in gesso in the search engine and both of them will turn up. So I'm using the white one. The other thing that I am using, and I know many of you have already got these at home, you can get them so inexpensively on your, like your auction sites and all that sort of stuff. And it's just an MDF tag. You could, if you wanted to, create your own using tag dies and some mount board. It will buckle a wee bit more because we're actually going to add some liquid and paint, so it's going to suck it up quite a lot. So this is why I'm just using the MDF tag. As I say, you can get them so easily. So what I'm going to do again, I'm doing it on my craft mat to make it easier to clean. So I'm going to go in with the gesso and I'm bringing in one of my paint brushes. Lovely. I'm going in the one that is the 3/4 of an inch. We've got these on the show as well. And then all that I'm going to do is pop some onto my MDF. And the reason I'm using this is a sort of priming it, George. When I come in with my colours just shortly, what will happen is because you've got that MDF, because you've got that colour and it's very absorbent, what will happen is if I go direct with the colour, it's just going to suck it up. It's going to suck it up. It's not going to look the true colour it's meant to be. So therefore, what we're doing is we're priming our MDF shape. So what I'm doing is I'm going round all the way around the edges. You can of course do the back as well if you want to. I am just going to do the front for the sake of this one. And then let's work our way in. These do just wash off your hands as well very easily, warm soapy water. And once I'm happy with the coverage, I'm just going to do the brush strokes in one direction. What we can then do, nicely finish them off. And I can sit that there.
if you are wanting to build your craft collection up, you see on the screen the blending and painting collection. There's 9 different elements within here. You are getting the Spectrum Noir roller tool. You're also getting the blending tool. It's 3 different there. You're getting the refill squares for your blending tool as well. You're getting the mini craft mat, which you see just there on the screen. You're getting the blending sponges. You also getting the mixing palette, and you're getting 3 different brushes as well, different sizes, size 6, 8, and 3. $31.90, $50.90, a great deal. Saving yourself over 20% on that today. If you want to see the full collection, head to the website crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au, and you can see a full range there. Shop the show today. Right, so we've got our primer on there with our gesso. What are we going to do next, Craig?
We do indeed. So I've got one here that I painted last night, so it's all nice and dry. Now, that, George, will literally take 5 minutes or so to dry. Doesn't take long at all, but obviously 5 minutes to us is a long time.
Yeah.
So I've got this one already dried. So what I'm going to do again is I've got the gesso, white gesso, and I'm going in with the Cosmic Shimmer watercolour ink. This is the pearlescent, and this one is the holly green. Now I've got just a couple of little containers here. It could be any containers. It's all that you want to do is mix up your colour. So I'm going to go in. Now these ones are quite cool in the pipette, and it's a little press button at the top. Ooh. So instead of squeezing it, you press it. I'm easily amused.
Because squeezing is so old-fashioned.
It is.
It's all about pressing now.
So old-fashioned. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go back in with my paintbrush. I put it in the water. I didn't actually need to because, well, it's white, so it wouldn't matter. And then I'm going to mix it until I get a colour that I want. So we're really going in. And with this one being the watercolour, because this is pearlescent, even though you are popping it in with your white gesso, it's not going to dilute the pearlescent. What will happen is you will get a gorgeous pearlescent cover all the way across. So I'm going in with that one, maybe add a little bit more green. Just a little bit more.
If you look at that and fancy adding it to your basket, you see it down the side of the screen, £4.25, $7.99 for that, but you're going to get so much value. 20 millilitres is going to go a long way with this ink. There's different colours available. Head to the website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com to see the full range of colours available from Cosmic Shimmer.
And there's loads of them, George. There really, really is. So you can have a play. So you can replicate what I'm doing, but change the colour. You know, it could be a totally different colour if you want. So what I'm going to do in with this one here is, once again, giving it a good coverage. So we're going over. And for this one, I want it to be relatively smooth, because what we're going to do in a moment, we're going to come along and we're then going to use our stencils over the top with another colour. So let's smooth that one out. So initially to start with, you're thinking, oh, gorgeous, spring-like colours. Wait until you see how it's going to end just shortly. Don't worry, it's not going to be dark and dull in winter. It's going to be very, well, hopefully, nice and sophisticated and elegant, but with that mixed media touch.
But this is what I love about mixed media, because I look at stencils and I just think, oh yeah, papercraft, but actually there's so much more you can do with the stencils and with anything. You know, I forget that sometimes our dyes can go through on faux leather and create something. You know, I forget that sometimes. But again, this is another example of how versatile our wonderful products are here. Remember, we are using the wonderful everyday stencils here that you're seeing. This one, we're going for scattered spots. This is what we're using.
We are doing scattered spots. Yes, scattered spots we are indeed.
Perfect, lovely. So what are we shaking up here? What are you shaking it up?
So now what I'm doing, shaking it up, shaking it up, shaking it up, shaking it up.
Don't look at my eyes. You look me right in the eyes when you were doing that.
So once again, this is where you see the gesso is a key element when it comes to mixed media. You could do what I'm doing without it, but what you would then end up doing is, again, it's going to be sucking up that colour that, you know, you really want that basis for it to sit on. So now what I'm going to do, white gesso, now I'm jumping across to my shimmer mist, or my glimmer mist from Hunky Dory, also on the show, variety of different colours. This is the bronze penny, because I want a wee bit more of a, it's not quite gold, more of a grey look within this one. So once again, I can then mix it up. You start to get that brown look, but then you do get to a point where it's almost grey.
Yes.
So all that I'm doing is I'm just mixing it in together into here.
Again, from Hunky Dory, £4.99, $6.99 if you are wanting to add this into your basket as well. Like I said, keep heading to the website. You can always see the full range of products. I promise you, in the shows, we only scratch the surface of what is available in the shows. Remember, it is a pre-recorded show, and everything you see, all the prices and stock levels that you hear or see during the show are correct at the time of recording.
Rightio. So what I'm doing here is, in case you wonder, you're thinking, well, you know, you've got a variety of different cosmic shimmer inks and that you could be using. Why have you changed? Purely on the colour. I like the different colour tones. So, you know, I liked using the Holly Berry within the Cosmic Shimmer, and great colours elsewhere with Cosmic Shimmer, but I just wanted something a little bit deeper, whereas I felt that the Glimmer Mist from the Bronze Penny worked a treat with what I'm away to do. So it's purely all about mixing the colour tones to suit your palette, what you like, suit your eyes, and the way that it appears. So what I'm also going to do, just for a second, giving this another little bit of a helping hand to dry off. So I'm going in with my heat tool and giving it, as I say, that little bit of a helping hand. And then what we're going to do, we're going to ink through the stencil using that grey browny tone. But instead of using something like a palette knife or that you would tend to do if you add ink through stencils, we're going to sort of dab it as if it's a stencil brush.
Right.
But what will happen with that, and what we want, is it will seep under. So you're not going to get perfect circles, you're going to get bleed line circles. And that works a treat when it comes to, once again, mixed media. So what we can then do is, if I bring in the scattered dots here, and let's move it to a slightly cleaner area. So what I'm doing, popping my stencil over the top, and I've got my colour, and I'm going to dab it. And that's all that I'm going to do, is I'm going to dab. And you can already see, you know, I've still got loads of ink. I didn't do lots, but I've got loads, and it covers so well. So we're going in, and because you are dabbing on, you get that kind of suction effect. So you don't need to worry about taping down or spraying or anything like that. It holds it into place. But what I'm also wanting to do is I want it to be more texturous. So instead of it being nice and smooth, what I'm doing is I'm adding additional layers. So I'm dabbing it on, but you see how it's, well, perfect, you can't see it from up above. See how you've got that textured look? I don't want it completely smooth. I want it to have that roundness of the circles, but to be very three-dimensional, because it's all about touch and feel as well. So now that I've done that one, if I lift that up, and then if I tilt it up to the side, you've got your dots. Now you can see right in the middle there, see we've got a great big blob. That's the sort of thing that we're wanting. So we've got that look there. So I can set that to the side for now. Then what we can then do is we're then going to come along, and then we're going to take my, now where are we? I've just popped that brush in the water again. Silly Billy, didn't need to do that just yet. There we go. So let's just dry my brush off. Now that same ink that we've just used there, we're going to use as a bit of a glue. So what we can do, let's just dry that off. So let's go round. So let's grab a hold of this. So you could, if you want, leave this section to dry first. It's not paramount that this has to be dry at this point. So what I'm going to do is, round the edges here, George, I'm just going to add some colour. And you're not going to see this. This is pure and simply using it as a glue. So we're going to go round the edges here, work our way round, and I'm doing all sides of the tags. And some of them, what I'm going to do is come a little bit further in than the other one. We're wanting that rustic look. So let's work our way again. So we're taking this down. If instead of using this grey, if you had some of that green left over, you could do this again. Once again, just to reiterate again, I'm using it as a glue, so it's not essential that you have to see it. So then what I can do, let's bring in a piece of cardstock. This is then going to catch our embossing powder. So what we're going to do is we're now going to go into the mixed media with the dark edge. And this has got incredible gold sparkles inside.
Right, nice.
So what I'm doing, now I'm going to tilt it at an edge because the dots are obviously still wet.
Yeah.
So if I get my embossing powder onto the dots, it's going to stick. It's not the end of the world if that happens, do not worry. But what I really only want is the edges of the tag.
Lovely.
So taking that one.
If you're wanting to add this into your basket, it's there on the screen. You can see there, it's the Dark Age. Ooh, spooky. £3.99, $6.99 on that incredible platinum price as well, taking the extra 20% off as well. I love embossing powder. I think it's one of my favourites.
Love it. Love, love, love it. So there's a prime example. See how I've gone over a little bit there?
Yeah.
It's going to add to what we're doing.
Right.
So don't ever worry. And that's the good thing with mixed media. It's very, very forgiving. So then what we're going to do is we're going to melt this. Now, we've got layer of ink underneath, paste underneath. So what's going to happen, and it's intentional, it's going to start to bubble.
Oh.
It's going to start to bubble. So the powder's going to melt, the paste underneath is going to bubble, it's going to look really quite smart, but it's going to be very texturous. Then you're going to get these bullet hits of the gold that are inside.
Yeah.
So this is where back to normal, facing down, because you've got that paste that's acted as a glue, it's sticking, it's not going to blow anywhere. So get this to temperature, which I've been using it. So I'm going to start down in the bottom left and I'm going to work my way round anti-clockwise. So I'm going to go down, and then as this then starts to melt, starts to bubble as well underneath. You can see it bubbling?
Yeah.
How cool does that look? So what we can then do is as that melts, we work our way round as if we're doing any other heat embossing. The key...
It looks like Black Panther. You know what's it called, vibranium? That they use to build everything in Black Panther and the mineral that they've got? Vibranium,
right.
that's the one.
Right, okay. Yeah. Look at that, Adam. Perfect. Look at that. So the key thing as well is you don't want it to over bubble. Yeah. You don't want it to burn. So as soon as it bubbles and melts, you move it along.
Is there a telltale sign when it's burning? I know it sounds... Is there something it'll do where you go, that's burnt? Is it...
If you start to see smoke,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Let's be honest. If you see smoke, but you know, as soon as it bubbles and as soon as it melts, you move it along.
Yeah.
So work our way all the way up, and then what happens is because it's bubbling, you've got that paste underneath that's bubbling, the air catches it, you still get that even more texturous look, not only from the embossing powders, with those like bullets of gold, what you've then got is that raised bubbled effect, which works in conjunction with the bubbles that you've created.
Yeah.
So because I've gone over onto this bit, I'm going to melt it. Exactly the same, it will start to bubble slightly. Once it's bubbled, I can move it all the way round, and we'll follow it all the way round and carrying on. So we've got some thinner parts like here, we've got chunkier parts up here, but we can then carry on to finish off. We end up down at the bottom, and then there we go. So if I then, so I'm going to go from the top because that will have cooled down by now. So if I come probably that way just now, so then we can see we've got our tag there. So if I go that way, there we go. If I go that way, perfect. So we can see, tell you what as well, it'd be better if I do it white on white. So we've got those gold chunks that have melted all the way through. You've got that bubbled effect all the way through as well. So we've got that one. Then what we're going to do, let's bring in our tacky glue. So this is just our tacky glue. And I'm going to put a little bit onto my glass mat. No, I'm not, my craft mat. You can do your glass mat if you want. So what you can then do, now there's two types or two ways in which you can do what I'm away to do. I'm just dabbing my finger into the tacky glue, and then what I'm doing is I'm just randomly going over the back. What you could do is while the dots are still wet, you could then come along, George, and sprinkle the gold gilding flakes that I'm away to use, and that will then adhere to your tag. But if I bring in my gold Gildan flakes here,
which I did think was tuna pasta when I first saw it this morning.
you did look to see what I was going to be eating, didn't you?
Yeah, and you were like, don't eat that.
Yeah, I was like, no, don't eat that. So now, where I've got that glue, what I'm doing is I'm tapping my gold Gildan flakes over the top, and then what I would then do is take some of that excess off. I would let the glue set just for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And then what I would then come along and do is then lightly rub off the excess.
Perfect.
And you're going to be left with little gold flakes onto your tag.
If you want to add Gildan flakes, and there's a great deal, not tuna pasta as I thought, there's some great deals with Gildan flakes. Again, you can see them on the side of your screen. You're getting gold, silver and copper. Again, it's not all mixed together. You're getting gold, which you see there, the silver and a copper colour. £10, $14.99, saving yourself 15%. And if you're platinum price, again, Club Inspire, look at that, £8. Wow, that is a great deal. It's going to be, and it goes a long way, Gildan flakes. You know, you don't need much, and you're going to get so effective deals, effective effects.
You are
Is that right?
indeed.
Is that the right English?
Yes.
I don't know. Effective effects.
I know what you mean.
You know what I meant. Who cares? Yeah. Love it though. Absolutely adore Gildan flakes.
They're so much fun.
Yeah.
They are so much fun. So what I've done is I've got a piece of, this is just our white smooth stamping card, and on the opposite side I've put a piece of our, it's from our A4 double-sided adhesive sheet. So I've basically made a sticker. So one side is cardstock, this side is nice and sticky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in, literally throw it in, and then I'm going to take that excess off. And then you do get specific little squeegees for Gildan flakes.
Yeah.
Again, you can find these inexpensively online. What you can do is use the backs of your blending foam,
right.
the darker side of your blending foam pads. What I would suggest not to use is the kitchen scourer that's got that harsh green side to it, because that's just going to scratch your Gildan flakes and it's not going to look very, very nice. But what we can then do is we've now got our cardstock that's edge to edge with gold Gildan flakes. Then what I can do, let's bring in our fabulous florals, and we're going to do a couple of these ones. So I'm going to go in with that one and then that one. So then what I'm also going to do, so if I bring in my normal Gemini plates, but what I need to do, because yes, it's cardstock, but what you've got is you've got a layer of Gildan flakes, you've got a layer of adhesive in between. So I need to add in my metal shim. So I'm going to do my leaves there and there. So then what I can do is pop my plastic, my magnetic, and then I can run this one through.
Again, we're using those wonderful outline die collections you saw here. I'll show you them a little bit later before the end of the show. There's 17 elements. Remember, there's 6 different designs as well within the collection. You can buy them individually. There is a multi-buy available, but the best deal you're going to get is if you buy the bundle of all 6 designs.
So here we go. So what I've done is die cut these ones out. Now wait till you see this, George.
I'm excited for this.
So nice to do this. Instead of doing gold cardstock, which there's nothing wrong with it, but what you can then do is create your own skeleton leaves or petals, whatever ones you're using, but we've used them with our gold Gildan flakes. So let's pop these ones out here. So we've got the leaves. So what I would do is a second leaf.
Yeah.
So there's one of them with that gold.
Incredible.
Look at that. Looks absolutely incredible. So what I would then do as well is if we then pop this floral head out, and again, take all these bits out. So what we would then do is pop all of these here and here and then here. So let's take that out. So what I would then do is have this flower head here, and then I would have 2 leaves. I would die cut another one. So what I could then do is let's do the leaf for this one. I've got these all prepared.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to show you is to add something just a little bit different when it comes to the tag. I'm going to go onto the back of my leaves. I would do exactly the same with the floral head. And then I would add my tacky glue onto the back. I'm going to dab a little bit of the excess off the back of my hand or my craft mat.
Yeah.
And then pop it onto, this is a piece of vellum. Once again, you'll find it on our website. And this is a good way of using up the tiny little bits of vellums that you've got, And then what we would then do is fussy cut all the way around. So we've got that gold texturous leaf, skeleton leaf. But then what we've got is we have then got that sort of misty look background.
Ooh.
That will come apparent in a moment. Love the sound effects.
That's all right, I'm here all week.
So we've got our leaves. So we will end up with 2 leaves. We can see like that.
Love that.
And then our floral head.
That's a bit nice, Craig.
Thank you very much. So let's take, so it still needs a little bit longer to dry, but let's still use it. So what I'm then going to do, George, is from Sarah's signature collection, 'twas the night before Christmas.
Yeah.
We've got this gold, it's like our gold twine. So then what I'm going to do is I want a bit remaining so I can tie. And I'm literally going to go round and round so I can end here. I'm going to tie a knot. And you can come along, add a little sentiment if you want to, maybe add butterfly if you want to. There's lots of things, a die cut word if you want to. It's entirely up to you. But if we tie that into a knot, so it grabs, like so. And if it's loose, a little bit too loose like this, again, don't worry, because what we're going to do is add these florals.
Yeah.
Let's bring in my glue gel to finish off. And I would recommend for this your glue gel over foam pads,
right?
Because you've got the layer of paste, you've got the layer of twine, the gilding flakes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that into the middle. I'm going to pop that on. I'm then going to take this one here. And then let's take our 2 skeleton leaves. So if we then go, let's go from into there. And then if we go into here. Now, with it being the tag, if you want to add something onto that little loop at the top, you can. I'm not. I like the look the way that it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull that out because I do want these bits to be seen. And this is what I mean by maybe a little slither of a sentiment or maybe just a die cut love word, something like that. It's entirely up to yourself. But that is all that I'm going to do.
That is brilliant.
When it comes to that tag that we can see here. And then the one that I prepped right up to the part of just needing to add on. See how different it can look? So I went heavy-handed with the paste on the dots that spread out. So you're going to get a completely different look every single time, but we've got a tag that you can see on that one there. So, you know, that is using the powders, it's using some of the inks as well. That gesso, that is a key thing. It is in stock on our website as well. But the gilding flakes are a must. I adore them, George.
Absolutely stunning, a great deal. And listen, we are rapidly running out of time today. Let me remind you of the outline die collections. Remember, excuse me, there are 17 elements. There are 6 different designs within here. You've got the pretty posies, the fabulous florals, the blooming botanicals, simple sprigs, magnificent butterflies, and dainty dragonflies. $31.45, $40.27, that incredible platinum price that you see there as well. Remember, you can buy them individually, and there is the multi-buy available, 2 for £12.50, $16.50. Remember, head to the website crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.eu to shop the show. This is a pre-recorded show, and all the prices and stocks that you see at the time of recording are correct. Craig, thank you so much for today.
Thank you so much. I had an absolute blast. I think I better get a bit tidied up though. What do you think?
Well, I think so. Get tidied up for tomorrow because there's so much coming up tomorrow here on Crafters TV. Join our wonderful Michelle and Ben. They're going to be with you all day, kicking the day off with our Colour Me Happy at 12 p.m. here in the UK, 7 a.m. on the East Coast. Then at 3 p.m. here in the UK, 10 a.m. East Coast time, we've got another masterclass. We're looking at the Masquerade Ball again, and they are going to be finishing off the day, Ben and Michelle, at 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. East Coast time with our second chance Sunday. That's that last chance to grab all those wonderful wonderful deals that you may have seen here on the week throughout here on Crafter's Companion. Remember, check out those baskets. Remember, have a look at all the different mixed medias that you've seen in today's show, gilding wax, embossing powders, and remember, on YouTube you can see all our shows, so do not feel left out. If there's something you want to have a look at, you can find more great shows on the website. I will see you in the meantime. Remember, check out those baskets, and I will see you soon. Goodbye for now.
Bye.